Hello and welcome to Let's Play Old Games, and welcome to a new Let's Play, and welcome to a very unique game that I just found on Steam. I mean, not just, found it recently. This game is called Unrest, or Ashanti in Hindi, and this is an Indian game. Now, this is the first time I've seen an Indian game, like an Indian made game. So this caught my eye and I looked it up. Basically what happened was I got an email from Bundle Stars, and they normally have several offers like the Dollar Dash or something, and usually I don't buy stuff from Bundle Stars, but I thought I'll have a look. I looked at all the games they had, and in the corner I found this. Now the reason I picked it out was because I can read the script, and I thought, hang on, this is an Indian game. So I looked it up a bit, and it turns out it's a RPG style game set in sort of mythical ancient India and made in India by Indian developers. So I'm quite curious to see what this is. I don't really have very high hopes, but it looks alright at the moment. And so let's just check it out together and see what this is. Because as you know, the culture of gaming isn't that big in India. Like, I'm one of the few people here, and mostly because I have stayed abroad. That's kind of why I'm interested in gaming. And Indians here usually they don't really have much time for gaming, at least proper console or PC gaming. But mobile gaming may be a different thing, but as far as proper console, PlayStation, Xbox, or like hardcore PC gaming, it's not that common. In a few big cities, yes, metros, but most other places people don't have the time. Also the cultural perceptions of gaming. So anyway, the point is, it's an Indian game. I'm quite curious to see what this is, and let's find out together. So let's start. Select difficulty, myth or mortal. Now what the hell is that supposed to mean? Myth would be easy, I suppose. Mortal, time itself can twist to aid those touched by destiny. Multiple saves allowed. Those untouched by destiny must live with their decisions. Iron Man mode. Okay, so this is probably like normal or hard, and this is easy. Let's go with mortal, I suppose. But what it's saying is multiple saves allowed. Can we not do that here? Okay, let's find out. The option can be changed in game. Enter save name. I don't know. Anything. You are Asha, sole heir to the throne of Bhimra, 12 years old. Bhimra, a city built by your ancestors, has stood for almost 2 centuries. At its prime, Bhimra was a sight to behold, a prosperous center of trade and an example to other kingdoms. However, those days are long gone. It has been many months since rainfall, and the earth is dry as bone. There is not enough food to go around, and the underclasses are starting to get desperate. Today, Asha's parents hope to reverse Bhimra's troubles. They are poised to make the decision that will redeem them in the public's eye or condemn them. Okay, so you are Asha, the sole heir to the Bhimra throne. What does traits mean? Princess, naive. Okay, one of those things. Map, escape, traits, journal, the treaty. The treaty is being signed today. My primary role is to go to the wall top and wave to the angry crowds below. Okay. And inventory, what do we have? Soldier statuette. You've never actually seen a soldier that looks like this, only palace guards. Ivory elephant, hard, cold, and overall not a very fun toy to play with. Naga grammar. Their tongue is unintuitive, but to an applied intellect it is very possible to learn and even speak. Crown. A symbol of power over the kingdoms. Your parents often entrusted to you. Okay. Bangle. Royal family heirloom, passed from one generation of Bhimra's queen to the next. Let's see the trade. Again, look at those are the trades, and this is the map. Uncle Avinash Vijay. Okay, so who is this palace guard? Let's talk to him. Good morning, my sovereign. Boss. Okay, who's this? Avinash. Let's go and see what this guy is saying. Asha, I know it's scary out there, but you are the princess. The people need to know their princess is there for them on big important days like this. Okay. It's not scary. I've seen angry mobs before. People don't want to see me. Every time they do the yell, I don't like it. I can't believe. Can I just sign the treaty sign? Okay. It's not scary. It's not scary. I know you have. Huh? You understand that the mobs aren't your parents' fault, right? Your parents can't control the thoughts of the famines, and they can't give homes to everyone in the slums. I think even the mobs understand that deep down. Mama and Papa already. Okay, so this is bitter, this is critical, this is understanding. Okay, let's go with understanding. Asha, however angry people get, never forget that your parents were born to rule the city. Bhimra needs them just like it needs you. If times are hard and things are scary, then that isn't because your parents have failed, it's because Bhimra needs you now more than ever. Okay. I don't really know why the slums don't like the treaty. Who can say? But I reviewed the facts with your parents and I agree that the Naga Empire's trade network will be the best thing that ever happened to Bhimra. Even Vijay agrees, and he's been advising against the whole venture for months. You and your parents will make things better, Asha. It's your blood right. Blood right? Birthright? Now you have responsibilities to face. So I guess this will be a very text heavy game. Let me go and just reduce the music a bit because I want to have the music in the background. It's sort of, I can see it getting irritating after a while. So this is, what is this? Is some kind of throne or something? So there's obviously no dialogue or anything. It's just a lot of, okay, who's Vijay? There you are. The ambassadors will be here soon. You won't have time to go out and greet them, but these soldiers will protect you while you address the mobs outside. Nothing formal, just wave and tell them to care about them. Tell them we care about them. If they know we are listening, they won't be quite as angry. I don't think that sounds very safe. Okay, let's be brave. You won't have to leave the courtyard wall tops, I promise. Just go up there and tell people it will be okay. Okay, let's go with okay. I don't really know much about the treaty, so I'm not being too critical. So these are Vijay's traits. Friendship is good, critical is like half, apprehensive is a bit. Good. Don't stray from the guards. When the ambassadors do arrive, you can show them the greeting you learned in their language. I bet they'll be impressed, very impressed. Keep an eye on her. We need today to run smoothly. We'll be here any moment. So what is this journal? Active quest. People. Okay, who's Vijay? Your father's constant advisor. He's far grimmer than your father and lately doesn't seem to get enough sleep. Okay. Your father's brother Avinash travels abroad frequently. He's keen student of history and has taken it upon himself to teach you. Queen. She wasn't born in Bhimra, but it is her home nonetheless. Your mother has been through much she doesn't speak of. Hasn't been through much yet. Okay, she speaks a lot. Your father is the latest in the line of kings that goes back to the end of Bhimra's history. He tells stories that make affairs of state sound nearly entertaining. Nearly. Okay, so we stay with the guards. We go here. Yes. What the hell is that? Hang on. What the hell is that? Looks like a Naga Empire, so meaning snake. So it's a snake man. Seriously? You are Chitra, Chief Ambassador to the Naga Empire. I have a feeling this game will be a lot of me reading and you guys just listening. Bhimra has swallowed his long-standing animosity towards your empire because its fortunes are dire. Oh, the fairy of the monsoon has left Bhimra's harvest week and its people desperate. As a peace offering, they took refugees from the empire colonies into their own city slums. Now they offer trade, goods for food. The Naga Empire can use such a trade and the opportunities to send more immigrants from its own professional classes. They've sent you to hammer out the terms at last job before you retire. But from the riots when you arrived, it seems not everyone is in favor of the deal. Okay, so overall, Bhimra is desperate. There are famines, no rainfall, meaning people are desperate and hungry, and you are an ambassador from the Naga Empire, which is seems like snake people, and you are here to trade and shift some of your immigrants here. Who is Ria? I feel like I'm going to be sick. Where are their leaders? They were supposed to be here already. Nothing is simple politics, just keep your head straight. You'll see this tactic all the time. They're pretending they control the situation. Switch to their language, don't make them paranoid. Calm, suspicious, open. Hey, let's do the open thing. We have been surrounded by guards the whole time. We walked by angry mobs on our way in, and now we are in a courtyard full of armed humans and people we are here to talk to save them from food shortages and rioting slum dwellers are nowhere to be seen. Just remember, they need us more than we need them. Putting a lot of faith in your confidence. Very well, then what do we do while we wait? Talk with the other lesser humans? Okay, she's one of those racist types. Species, correct. And remember to make friends. A friend of yours becomes a friend of the Empire. Go around and show them crisp politeness. Impress them with your grace. And make them respect us, yes. And maybe fear us a little. Let's go with encouraging. I'll regroup with you when the royals arrive. Okay, so these are all the snake people. So you play as this guy, Chitra. Naga bodyguard, Dinesh. Who's Dinesh? I got a good look at the way the slums are situated on the way. Technically, they don't occupy any of what's considered Bhimra's traditional footing. There's no real right or wrong answer, but I think it could be argued that they aren't subject to Bhimra's laws. They certainly don't seem very interested in enforcing much order out there. Just be calm about it. I wouldn't be so sure of that. The people here seem terrified of a possible slum uprising, and there seems to be precious little pacifying them. I'm sure Bhimra has some sort of plan in place, but somehow I doubt it's one with the slum's best interest in mind. Okay, this looks pretty political. Now let's see what he has. Dinesh, Adil, Kalyan, Madhu, Yogesh, Lakshmi, and seasoned. First negotiation, Ria's mentor. Chitra is a diligent mentor to Ria. She'll be almost as good as her teacher one day. Kiran, a teacher who wants to help the slum Naga transition into the city. An experienced magistrate in Naga Kingdom, here to advise on legal matters. And Ria, she is training to be you, and has therefore found the most qualified teacher. She is nervous and not amazingly gifted, but she pays attention and she learns from what you tell her. Okay, and what is in the inventory? Humor in Bhimra. Naga Empire desires reasonable weight of Bhimra's precious metals, local seedlings, and exotic hardwoods in exchange for such foodstuffs as can be transmitted intact between our empires. For our swollen professional class, consisting of merchants, craftsmen, and artists, to be permitted to emigrate form new communities within Bhimra. So the professional class wants to migrate. That can't be a bad thing. Not many human diseases can affect the Naga, but you brought this anyway. Gold coins, you will not have to pay for anything while you are here. Wealth and opulence are display of strength. Humans are soft targets and can be easily disabled with claw strikes. Okay. Seal of the Naga. The last thing you'll do is put this on the formal treaty. Map of the known world. Gift for the royals. Beautiful map with the beautiful Naga Empire. Beautifully inked onto them. Most of it. Fruits, okay, yada yada yada, a lot of reading. Hope you guys are not getting bored. Okay, Pranav, what is Pranav? Who is Pranav, I mean? Take up much of time, just want to say how much I'm looking forward to this arrangement. Some of the fruits my family is traditionally used to brew, very hard to get hold of. Truly liked so well that the nobles offered us pick of the shipments. Okay, let's do this. And I think you'll like it. The brew we sell is nicknamed Grey Serpent, fitting, eh? Ah, yes. Haha. Okay, that would be rude. Let's be diplomatic. Anyway, I'll make sure you and the others all leave with some for the road. Good for your expense or just quiet evening. Thanks for saving my family trade. Not a problem. Okay, who is Adil? I heard you are and your cohort socializing. Naga is such an interesting night. Tell me, is it possible for a human to learn it? Polite. It's difficult to say. Backhanded. Oh no, don't be backhanded. Be polite. Oh well, I hope you don't mind keeping to our tongue as long as you're inside the city, do you? You create courtesy to those who haven't had the opportunity to learn. Which one should we choose? Don't be too diplomatic, they need us more than... Also, they are quite... this guy is quite intimidated, so let's be diplomatic about it. See, this is reduced. Oh well, we've all been there. I'm sure I've been guilty of this more than a few misgraces. Just please be mindful then. Not a problem. Who's Adil? Nobleman seems nice enough. Spooked about the Naga. And for Escard, let's go and talk to this guy. Hello, I'm Madhu. Adil and I rode from our home out by our lands just to meet you in person. For a few days escape. Was your journey pleasant? Let's be polite. They are very, so you should talk of us if you ever want to a place to stay while you're on business. Our estate is very comfortable. I would be pleased to do anything we could to facilitate trade and good relations. It's long past time we reached out to you, don't you think? And we to you, it will require a lot of work, frankly. Now that you absolutely need us, you mean? Okay, let's be polite about it. I hope all goes well with this treaty. This could turn the worst year of Bhimra's history into the finest era it's had in a long time. I got an achievement for cordial. Chitra's diligent mentor. No, Chitra knows how to be just polite enough. Madhu. Noble woman, very present, probably more than you should have expected. Okay, who's this servant? Let's talk to the servant. Okay, servant is too scared. Have you spoken with my husband Yogesh? I haven't. Do me a favor, do that first. It'll make my life easier. Okay, sure thing. Is this your husband? Greetings, name's Yogesh. I own the farmlands you people passed on your way in. Hope nobody gave you any trouble. Usually when my people see a big snake, they go at it with a spade. Oh. And when you see a talking monkey, we should put the jug down. Okay, I don't know if that's a good answer. Let's go with polite. Well, I should hope there are no problems. Tell me, how are you enjoying Bhimra so far? I know the slums are just wretched, but you have to admit these palace gardens are something, aren't they? I'm fond of the wall structure. Are those towers real or decorative? Honestly, the palace of Naga Empire is finer by far. Newer but finer. Enthusiastic. Polite. Let's be enthusiastic. Just go for the hell of it. Oh, those are decorative. By the time these walls went up, our kingdom was too strong for anyone to invade. That was, 500 years ago. Nothing left of that empire, but some dry farmlands and some neighbors with grudges. And some lovely architecture. Let's be polite. Pretty enough. I don't mind telling you, this place wasn't what it was even when I was a boy. Peasants getting funny ideas. Slums demanding more and more out of us. People like Ranveer getting in the way of our future. Bah. Why do you have to get me started on a sore topic? Enjoy the rest of the event. Okay, now let's go and talk to his wife. Outdoing probably a little too much so. Lakshmi, very serious, doesn't want to be here. Let's go and talk to her again. Now that you've spoken to my husband, I suppose he won't begrudge us some conversation. He doesn't much like it when visitors speak to me first, you see. He finds it disrespectful. How do you feel about it? Similar class cases in Naga? Let's see. Then we may converse now. Oh, she become less tolerant. I meant no disrespect. Let's be humble about it. She's become. Trade is the only exchange. After a few decades, we make consent to advise one another. So, what should we talk about? Politics, gossip, pointless ICTs. I'll leave you to decide. Business-like, personal, careful. Okay, let's talk politics because she seems quite serious. Bhimra's politics aren't as compelling once you learn the secret. No one is as good at it as they pretend. My husband makes the same mistakes over and over again, and he's better than most. I don't think it's responsible for our situation, but I doubt it helps. Okay, so of course I wouldn't say anything against our king and queen. Of course. Well, let's be polite. And while people like us are all too terribly aware of how much we need you, not everyone is. You can't make friends with everyone in the city, and you'll be in serious trouble if you should ever have to. Okay, so this is a bit weird. So let's look at the map again. So we haven't spoken to Dinesh and Kalyan. What is this? Kanika, king and queen. Should we go there, or is it... Let's go and see what's up here. Guard. Okay, the palace is barred, so we can't go there. Fine, I'm going out. So, Ria, Naga bodyguard, Adil, palace, guard. Okay. Who do we need to talk to now? Who's this Kanika? Okay, let's speak to Kanika. Warm greetings. My name is Kanika. I'm priestess and advisor to our family. I've been asked to offer your apologies for their lateness. Not at all, I understand. We will remain patient. I would know the reason. Okay, let's be polite. After it, I'm a little more comfortable with face-to-face talks than formal political meetings. If you're finished with all your other business here, I'd like to talk with you about a few things before the treaty signing is underway. Okay, I'll speak with you a little later. Okay, let's talk to her. I know there were angry mobs when you entered. There's a young priest in the temple district, a man named Ranveer, who brings bread to starving slum dwellers. Apparently, he's been claiming that the Naga refugees in our slums are responsible for Bhimra's continued misfortunes, as though you caused the drought just by being here. He's a lunatic and we'll bring him to heel. But he's not the root of the problem. You already don't like us, do you? I appreciate the effort. This is troubling for our refugees, and our migrants will be arriving within the next month. Okay, let's go with Stern here. We are taking steps. We've hired a mercenary captain and his company to provide a permanent defensive perimeter around the slums and prevent anyone from crossing over into the city proper, where I see guards signaling. We can go and start negotiations now. Okay. So where do we go now? king and queen. Kalyan. I don't know who this Kalyan is. I haven't met him. So where is the... Okay, those are the king and queen. My apologies to both of you for the wait. It's been a long week. I had assumed, of course. Give a small formal bow, not at all great king. Give a grand bow. Okay, I think that might be too much. Let's be like... No, hang on. Let's be the middle one. Right, since we're already running late, we'll just have to skip the fun parts. No introduction, chatting, food testing. Unless you have to get in the morning and actually sign one of these three things. That is the best part, yes. Really, I wish we had a few nobles like you. I think Vijay here is about the only man in Bhimra who can ride a horse and do a decent day's work. He would be your advisor, would he? Let's make a funny. Ah, right you are. Now where would you like to begin? Diplomatic, we are here to discuss terms, so we'll settle that first. The contract, and let's talk about the angry mob that greeted us. Okay, let's leave it up to him, see what he does. You'll be pleased to know that the most of what you offered, we have prepared to accept outright. We're not going to haggle over the trade routes and the schedules you prepared. Our only concern regards your immigrants. 100 merchants, craftsmen, and skilled laborers over the next month. I know it's rather a lot, but you'll benefit in the long term. Those are more negotiable than trade routes. Okay, let's go polite. We understand the needs of the Naga Empire. Bhimra slums are a constant reminder of how poor environments can jeopardize honest tradesmen. But that's the first problem there. We can't guarantee your skilled workers will find employment. Yeah, that's the problem. Not when so many of our own have been rendered destitute. Okay, so it seems there are a lot more skilled people from the Naga Empire. They want to come here and they'll live in the slums. So, how will they find work? That's the point the queen is raising, and it sort of makes sense. These guys are starving for food already. And how do they accommodate the skilled workers? And the skilled workers will come. They'll face the angry mobs who are already suspicious and superstitious of their presence. And they won't have any jobs as well. So what are they going to do? Swallow the other humans? As royalty, I should certainly hope you can guarantee it. Our trade will make your city, our merchants here, rich. The economy will be restored. I understand your reservations. I won't hold you accountable for the results, only the implementation. A fair point, perhaps the number can be lowered. Let's go with reassuring. In the balance of times, perhaps, but taken all at once, they'll do more harm than good. We'll take some of them now and the rest later. Okay, helpful, straightforward, stern. Very well. Okay, let's be helpful here. Come on, what do you want? You want everything for no... I'm actually on the side of the snakes here. Much more reasonable. It'll still be problematic, but less so. What do you mean? Like 100, only 20 are coming. We had meant to talk to you about the unfortunate anti-Naga sentiment in some parts of the city. We really do not believe it constitutes a threat after all. The Naga refugees remaining in our slums have lived free of harm for months. Yeah, but you say it's not an issue right now. With these things always start like this. I trust that you things have under control. What are you addressing? It's easy for you to say, not a threat. I remain unconvinced. Let's go with I trust things are under control. We aren't sure exactly what the roots of this content are. Ignorance, I suppose, unjustified fear of Naga. But we know that the mob was the work of one priest, Ranveer. Okay, so they are aware of Ranveer. Perhaps Kanika has already told you about him. A lot of people listen to him. Why, we'll never know. Vijay has been speaking with him personally. And what has he learned? Does Ranveer have grievances we can address? We don't need to talk to him. Let's go with diplomatic. Is unusual. He claims that Banka Mundi, who his temple serves, has sent him a vision of how to end the drought and bring prosperity. But the key point is we should shun your empire. He is not responsive to most of my attempts at negotiation. What was he responsive to? So is he? Okay, let's go with investigative. Nothing that is currently viable, so we'll need to deal with him in another way. He can't be bought, I promise you. Okay, now we are in trouble. Which one? They're all bold answers. Exile, perhaps. Put him to death. Against him. No, let's go with the least aggressive thing. That would have been prudent months ago, but he has followers now. When you remove a voice like his, the echoes only grow louder. No exile will do. Son. Okay, let's go with straightforward. I understand your concerns. Direct action really should have made a difference not too long ago. As of now, denouncing the man and severely inconveniencing him are all we can really do. We do. That much I can promise you. Okay, so we went with this turn because if the Naga people come and that guy is inciting a mob, things might get ugly. I suppose there's just one more thing then, isn't it? There, Vijay, this was your idea. Do you want to explain it? You may have already heard that much of our profits from this trade exchange will go towards retaining the services of a mercenary company. They will provide a barrier between the city proper and the slums. With luck, they will eventually be able to keep peace in the slums. Yeah, that's a good point. How does this concern us? Yeah, let's ask that. Naga immigrants will not be easy to house. We will need to clear out areas of the slums to provide housing for them, as well as some of our own city dwellers. Obviously, this means that these mercenaries are in your interest as well as ours, which is why we wanted to show you their effectiveness personally. Okay, so they're basically using mercenaries to clear out some of the slums to accommodate the Naga people as well as some of the city dwellers. But things are like pretty bad here. It is long past time a representative of the Naga met with our refugees in the slums. Currently this is not possible. Therefore I propose that once our mercenaries arrive, you, my wife, and myself venture out into slums under the personal guard of these men. Naturally you are at liberty to refuse. Polite, reluctant. Okay, let's be polite. Pleasure to do business. Achievement inspirational. Okay, let's just read the map. Ria, Dinesh, Kalyan. Traits become an inspiration. We'll go into harm's way for the sake of the Empire. Okay, I hope we don't end up dying. Vijay, advisor, hardworking, stress. This thinks this deal is too risky but overruled. Queen, smart, adaptive, involved. King, gregarious, jokey, forward thinking. Okay, so what I'll do is I will save the game here, and I think that's a good look at the start of the game, and we will continue from here in the next video. And I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. This is a very sort of text heavy game, story driven, and it seems interesting, but I don't know how long this will be. Probably not very long. So anyway, take care, and I'll see you in the next video of Unrest.